English DCT here again. Same project. This is just a rig I've set up to actually pull the clutch to see what the heck's going on with that. But this engine, 2.5 years old, been through absolute hell and back. I have had the carburetor off the damn thing about, I don't know, a good 45 times. I've had problems. I had problems with the fuel pump, run off the pressure from the crank. Honestly, get rid of the damn thing. If you have a way of getting rid of it, get rid of it. It's useless. Or upgrade it. There's some of the guys, Cars and Cameras guys, they've got some place that you can actually get some more performance parts for it, for the fuel pump. What I had was, I was almost at the point of replacing this engine. Nothing I was doing was working. I finally popped out the Welsh plugs. You'll see some other videos about that. Make sure you can see what I'm talking about. So I popped out the Welsh plugs and then turned anti-clockwise half a turn just to richen it up a bit. That helped a little bit, but idle and start up still quarter half throttle, choke even when it was 80 degrees, didn't make any difference. Damn thing would not idle. So behind this little guy right here, let's see if we can zoom in there. You'll have to forgive me, I am useless with cameras. Let's see if we can get that to focus. That little guy right there, you need a kind of special screwdriver with a V in it to get it off. But you undo that and there are two little jets, same as like on Honda carburetors. They're the low speed jets. Everybody talks about there being an idle. Well, theoretically, when this engine is like put in a chipper, something like that, there's a low idle and a high idle. Well, the high idle might be 3750 RPM and low idles maybe 1500, something like that. So these low idle jets play a part. Go and look at some of Musty One's videos. These idle jets play a part in not only idle, they're also a contributor to the full tilt when you go through the main jets. So these I drilled out to, and I'll get the drill set in a second. This drill set here, they came in straight out of the machine, out of the carburetor, about 77, and I dropped them out 66. 66 a larger drill, obviously. 80 being the real small hair one, all the way up. Now, that completely and utterly changed the 670 running. Absolutely different animal. Touch the key, bang, straight running, straight off. I have this running off an electric fuel pump, off a can. That's got some work to do. It could be fed from above, from some kind of spun aluminum tank or some other kind of tank. But if you tanks below the engine, honestly, put a 1.5 gallons per hour pump on it, or something like that. Low end doesn't have to be high level, just enough to get the fuel up, fill the bowl. Unless you're racing, obviously, and you're looking at somebody else's video. This is a workhorse for me in the Cushman, so I can actually, you know, haul wood and stuff like that around the yard because I'm getting old. Anyway, so the thing that I had the problem with this, you will not believe. I actually started stripping this down because it's got the pressure relief. I was getting like 90 psi on this cylinder. and it wouldn't run, would not run at all. Check the spark, put a spark plug on, checked it here, ran my spark plug checker, everything clean, bright blue, I mean intense bright blue spark. Not off to the side, straight down the center, just perfect. Put it in, put gas in, dribble gas down the pipe, put it in from this end, favoring this side of the port, would not fire. This side running fine. I put a compression tester in it, I did a leak down test on it. Absolutely perfect. In the green, little bit of push pass through into the sump on the oil side. Nothing, hardly anything coming through the exhaust, if it, at all. Nothing coming through the intake. Just couldn't work out what the hell was going on. Again, I had this thing off, on and off, on and off, on and off. Must be block carb, there's something bad. Hey, well I'm not, I'm bypassing that, I'm putting gas straight in. It still won't cook off. Exhaust cold, other side running great. Kid you not. Spark plug in, bright blue spark. In the cylinder, turned out, and I could only find one reference to this, something from the 1970s, a guy in England on a motorbike had a problem like this. It would fire outside, put it in the engine, his words, would not fire. Everybody argued with him and everything. But I actually got proof in the end. Shouldn't matter, there's a lot of arguments. Everybody argue, well, it doesn't matter if it's in the cylinder, it doesn't matter, it's going to fire in that environment. It's not a vacuum, it doesn't do this, doesn't do that. Rubbish. I took this plug off of this side and just thought, oh, you know, do something you possibly wouldn't normally do. Everybody's going to say, yeah, I'd have done that straight away. Yeah, of course you would. I moved it to this side, moved the plug that I knew was firing, put it in here. Immediately moved the issue. Remember, this plug was running blue spark, hot, clean. Put it over here, didn't run, dropped the cylinder. Tell me what that was. Bright blue spark on the outside, touching the engine, it's not an earthing thing. I talked to a couple of my buddies, one of them's an engineer from the 80s, and like I am, from the 80s and 90s, it's like, what on earth can be done? And we think maybe there was actually something broken down in the porcelain or something actually inside the spark plug that was going on when it was actually had pressure inside the spark plug pushing up. That's the only thing we could find. The moment I changed the spark plug out and put it to the other side, this side lit off. I filled the whole neighborhood with white smoke because I'd put so many chemicals through it. Once it cooked off, everything was clean as a whistle, ran like a baby. With these modifications, absolutely perfect. You guys want information about doing this mod, I can kind of walk you through that, but there's lots of drilling out jets. Just make sure you don't go too far, else you'll be buying new jets. I would advise maybe taking them up to, like, depends where you live obviously, altitude, take them up to about like 70 and then put them back. They're easy, just take this out, put it back in. Remember, only one slight difference, it's got to be warm when you start dicking with these jets, the jet screws, idle screws, and you put a little bit of back pressure and restricted airflow when you put the filter back on, so it will change it a little bit, but you'll know the difference from straight out of the box. Drill them out, put them back in, run it, see if it comes up, take them out, take them up 1 or 2 steps on the drills, but again, don't go too far and make sure it's warm when you do it. DCT, English DCT out, broken thumbs. Look, I've actually got gloves on. What a wuss. Bye.